started. Cool. All right. So yeah, a little bit of a recap from last time. You all managed to find the contract. That was an agreement between Rule of Threes and Levistus. There's an item you need to find, which, upon reading the contract, you got a kind of magical compass, and by you, only one of you, Zephyr, got a magical compass pointing them in the location of this item in their brain. You had a bit of an issue with some Abishai Scriveners that you ran into as your lies caught up to you. Something about what you had looked like were technically individuals that could not talk, and then you talked. So that did pose a little bit of an issue. You fought, eventually got out of down the tower. There's some magical things in your way, magical wards, I guess you'd say. Managed to kind of figure that out, get back out, and kind of ended the session with Niall and Zephyr doing some personal tasks, some things related to their own kind of backstories, off in their homes, something sketchy, the two of them, while Ripple and Artagan kind of just hung around town. Ripple went to see their polycule back in town. Artagan went and made another poor life choice of betting and losing. So that's what's on his headstone, probably. But
he just went with his gut.
There it is. Perfect.
Bold of you to assume he has a headstone.
He has a crypt.
Probably not.
But then, right at the very end, Zephyr went to talk with her contact, Tiv, a mechanic, kind of sorts, and they arranged for you all to have travel on a submarine. But you do need to return and I think get some further details from Tiv in the morning, if I am correct. It's been a little bit. But with that, we will pick up, let's say, right outside morning, whatever morning is in Stygia. It's still kind of all gray and overcast. It doesn't really change at any time of day. But you were down.
The UK.
Yeah, it's just the UK, constantly. Maybe like Norway in the middle of like not quite winter yet, so there's just not a lot of sun, not a lot of night. But you were down by the docks. Everyone roll. Just do rollies.
Just rollies?
Just roll a d20 and tell me what you get.
10.
10.
18.
18.
9.
That's a 6.
6. All right.
Was I the only one to roll double digits?
No, some got 10.
Right, Morgan.
Yeah. So.
Fair.
Zephyr, Niall, Artagan, you're all waiting down by the docks, and you're waiting for Ripple to show up, and Ripple's late. You're all kind of just standing there, 10 minutes go by, 15 minutes go by, kind of wondering what's going on. Maybe Ripple got pulled into a little bit of a morning activity, and now they're late to this meeting. But yeah, Ripple, you see as you're hustling, because you're late, good thing you're a monk and you can move fast. How's the monk, the last one here? Yeah, you see Zephyr, Niall, and Artagan all waiting at the spot you said you all were going to meet up. looking kind of in your direction because they know where you're supposed to be coming from.
I got distracted.
But yeah, with that very lengthy reasoning why they're late, you all can now, I guess, figure out where you're headed. I don't think anyone else knows Zephyr's contact or really the direction. That's why Zephyr kind of suggested let's meet up here. So, yeah, what's the plan? I would say also you probably grabbed anything from your houses that you would expect to need for a adventure.
I guess just kind of point of order. Hopefully this doesn't come to bite me in the butt. Niall's left his contract in the hiding spot in his house.
Okay. Sounds good.
Well, the day's not going by any slower, so let's get moving.
Lead the way.
Off we go.
Unless your plans fell through yesterday.
Well, why would my plans have fallen through? Zephyr starts walking.
Leading the way.
All right. So with that, you all pass down kind of these icy stone docks, more like piers, really, than like wooden docks. It's almost everything's just made of stone and ice. And you pass and you see several different types of ships, as many different creatures, individuals from all over the Nine Hells, and even kind of past that, as portals go anywhere, make their stop here, as it is another one of the very large cities in the Nine Hells, outside of the city of Dis, and probably another one that I'm not super familiar with right off the top of my head. I know there's at least a few more, but as you keep walking, you do pass a few different kind of steampunky looking submarines, some smaller, some larger. I'd say, Zephyr, this is kind of more of an interest to you because you know that Tiv is kind of setting you up with some submarine captain, but you don't have enough information to really figure out which one of these, and as of right now, there's not a lot of activity out on these docks. There's a few workers kind of roaming, but I guess in the grand scheme of things, it is early in the day, so to speak. But yeah, you head towards Tiv's kind of warehouse office area, and as you enter the kind of sliding doors. Yeah, you're going on trip. As you enter these sliding kind of wooden steel doors into this warehouse, you see, all of you, a ton of different machinery parts all across the ground. Hammers, oil. It's a mess in here, and if it weren't for the kind of light that's on in the office upstairs, you would maybe assume that this is kind of an abandoned warehouse. But yeah, as you all step into the warehouse, you see coming out of that office on the second floor, step out and kind of lean over the railing. You see this pale skin, red eyes. She has her hair pulled back into a ponytail, messy bangs, and she's wearing, kind of white, black, and red scheme mechanic attire, but sexy, okay? A little crop jacket. Everything's like, you gotta have your clothing tight so it doesn't catch on anything. She might have taken that a little too far. It's a little tighter than it probably needs to be. But yeah, and there's also some nice detailing that you would see as you got closer. But as you all approach, you see she is kind of leaning on the railing and gestures to Zephyr. And just like, well, is this your crew that you're going on your voyage with?
Yes. Everyone meet Tiv. We're besties.
Indeed. Well, why don't you come on up and we can discuss the final kind of steps for this journey.
Are there any snacks around?
Are there any snacks?
Yeah, she's a mechanic. Zephyr has snacks in her workshop.
Yes, the Dampier mechanic.
Oh, I forgot. I forgot I made her a dampier. Darn.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Roll for snacks.
We're roll for snacks. Gosh. 10.
You as you're like looking around for snacks and you're like, I'm hungry, and then like your eyes cross like this little rat, this little hell rat, and you're like, that looks very lifeless and maybe not so much blood in it, and you're like, damn, forgot. She doesn't have to drink blood, but
Okay.
she also does not have any snacks with a 10 that you see.
Can I casually walk next to who do I want to walk next to?
Isn't Ripple the only option you don't have beef with?
Ripple. I mean, it would be funny to steal Ortegan's snacks. I don't know.
He can have snacks.
He's gonna walk next to Ripple, and I want to sleight of hand rifle through their bag for snacks.
Okay. Let's see. Give me that sleight of hand, and Ripple, give me your passive perception.
Do I even have snacks? I mean, I guess I would have
you'd
packed
have,
food.
Like, you'd have drive things for the journey.
My passive, you said wisdom? That is
perception.
Perception.
Yeah,
that is 16.
16.
I rolled a 30.
Yeah.
30.
Yeah. You.
No one notices.
You get one. What do you call it? Ration worth of trail mix. There you go, Tate.
Yes! Let me get my trail mix out. 1 second.
Yeah, you are.
Zephyr starts eating the trail mix!
None the wiser. Ripple, you see Zephyr kind of slide up alongside you, kind of hear some, not even hear anything. You just, Zephyr doesn't say anything to you, and then, like, you look over, and next thing you know, Zephyr's just eating trail mix. That's weird, but, I guess it's fine.
I like trail mix. What can I say?
Just like that. But yeah,
Crazy.
you all make your way to the back corner of the warehouse and up the stairs towards Tiv's office. And when you enter the office, which is the one that had the light on, I'm flailing with my hands. I'm going to knock this beer over. You see that there's kind of a nice patterned like deep red couch, the one that's got like floral patterning in it, but it's just all red. Very Victorian, antique looking. There's one of those. There's another kind of dark brown leather chair. A lot of bookshelves, and behind her desk is like a big clawed chair. The aesthetic does not at all fit the mess that's down there, or a artificer, really. It's a bit more regal than you would assume. But you see, she's sitting there, kind of her legs crossed, and kind of gestures for you all to come in. Her office is decently sized. All four of you can kind of stand in there or sit in the few seats that are available, if you so choose.
No.
Also, while we talk about where we're going to be, Morgan, great sign.
Yeah, I was thinking, is standing close to
Niall
the
would
doorway.
probably be standing.
All right. What's Ripple doing? And Zephyr, standing or sitting?
Hmm.
Zephyr's definitely like perched somewhere weird, like on the like
I was about to
side
say.
of a like the armrest of a sofa or
I was
something. Like
literally about to say Ripple's
What
gonna
was-
do that.
What does that
Okay,
mean? The two
Ripple
of
just
you-
sits on like the arm of the couch.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sitting in the wrongest way you can manage.
All right. So the two of you are on opposite ends of the couch, but not on the couch, on the armrest of the couch. And you just see Tiv's eyebrow go up at the fact of both of you. Tiv already knows about Zephyr, but like the fact that it's now balanced. At least the couch isn't gonna, tip. Great.
oh, but that's less fun.
But yeah, as you all kind of settle in, you see Tiv go, well, I hear that you're going to have to cross a bit of the Stygian Sea, is that correct?
Yep. And we totally need a submarine.
And that is the safest way to travel. So, luckily for you all, I have a bit of dealing with a lot of the merchants that use submarines, as I often fix whatever they break. So, I could get you access to one such captain and crew, but it will cost you. My finder's fee is not cheap, so to speak.
Well, I
I thought this was
assume
a
Zephyr
voyage.
has it covered.
What?
Um,
I'm not gonna pay for everyone. Do I look like I have that kind of money? I'll just do an IOU one, Tiv. Well, to cover my share.
All right.
I
What
think
are we talking
I don't know, like how much exactly? I might have a little bit of extra from like one of my partner's last like birthday gifts.
Let me see. And you see, she starts rifling through some papers. How much are you three thinking right now? This is a spell.
When we come,
She's casting detect
Oh,
thoughts.
Honestly,
Oh.
Ripple's not thinking.
Great.
Is like
Great.
no
So
thought.
what is Ripple thinking in this moment about the birthday present and how much money you think you would have on you?
Not even. She's not thinking
She's
about amount
Oh,
at all.
she's just thinking about the birthday?
Yes.
Okay,
Think
great.
about the birthday itself.
Okay, great.
Niall,
Be like, I swear it's in here somewhere.
Niall will be thinking, since we kind of hand wave gold,
Mm-hmm.
be thinking
Also,
about.
you all are level 8. I would imagine you have...
We have a
minus
fair
Artagan. You usually have... Or Artagan has money, it's just not normally on him. You all have some access to gold or, like, jewels, things that you could give for money, soul coins, stuff like that, because you need that to exist in the world. So...
Yeah, Niall would be thinking on. I'm not sure I can conjure a hard number, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the range he thinks it should be, and he's also going to think, maybe I should cast Detect Thought. I don't, even if this is Zephyr's contact, I don't trust people who comment on a finder's fee being high.
Yeah.
That would be surface level for him.
Yeah, I will say she's not digging deeper. She's not doing enough to make it so
No,
it triggers
yes.
anything.
Surface across the
She's
board.
really just trying to figure out how much money you all have on you so she could say the appropriate amount that wouldn't be too alarming and you would maybe agree to. But yeah, with that, also, she is going to, as she's waiting, because that's like 3-6 seconds, as you're kind of talking, she bounces around. I'll say at the very end, she does land on Zephyr. What are you thinking as she's about to start?
This is going pretty well.
Great. Zephyr says thumbs up. Great.
Also, whenever she's in Artagan's brain, his front thoughts are like, what's going on? Like, I thought this was like a voyage. Isn't that the one with like airships? Why are we taking a submarine? I don't have the money for that. How am I gonna get? I'm like fear things going through his brain, and like, how am I gonna get out of this? I need to do this, but like, how am I situation?
Zephyr's also thinking, why did they expect me to like pay the whole thing? No one's paid like a cent for this job yet, and now I have to fund this whole voyage on my own? That's ridiculous. Honestly, they should be paying me because I know everything.
So Tim gone, just to see if I have the summary of the party right. I'm broke. Man, my last birthday was so good.
Yep.
I'm a sketch of this person. Here's what I think is reasonable. And, this is going well, man. What losers I got partnered with.
Yeah,
a group we are.
You see, as kind of Tiv was waiting to, waiting for, Ripple to finish talking about the birthday party, aka also detecting thoughts and rifling through pages to give herself some time. She turns back around. Well, as associates, I wouldn't quite use the word friends, but as associates of Zephyr, I could be a bit generous. We'll call it 100 gold a person.
That's highway robbery.
But this is including my finder's fee, and the captain will not be charging you anything, as it is a favor to me. So.
Insight check.
Yeah, go for it.
I should have seen what my insight mod was before I called it. All right.
Yes.
11. So yeah, and I was like, yeah, that sounds reasonable, and started counting out the coin.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, 100 gold pieces. Niall, you can. She kind of just gestures to the table for people to put whatever they have. If you have, coins, jewels, whatever, I'll say 100 gold isn't a lot, and there's a strong chance you would have 100 gold on you in some variety.
Okay.
Because at level 8, that's like 2 healing potions.
For the record, saying highway robbery was not actually Ripple. That was just me above table. But
that's fair.
Because Ripple's just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I got that.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, now sus, but it's like.
Because Ripple is low-key a sugar baby and does not realize it.
No, what do you mean low-key?
It's high-key and everyone else knows it. It's just Ripple who doesn't.
Ripple has no idea.
Yeah, Ripple's just the oblivious rich kid.
Mm-hmm.
It's adorable. I love it. She's like, oh yeah, I got that. That's... Here we go.
But yeah, so you all put the money on the table. And then
Does Artagan write out a collect from Deimos?
You could collect from Bank Deimos.
Pretty much. Yeah, probably.
All right. So we get 2 bags of coins and then a little note that Artagan has writes and signs.
Little big slip.
Yeah, it's actually you all look and see it's like a forged slip. It is a check, but Deimos gave Artagan checks, essentially, that he can have people go cash in. Because everyone kind of knows Deimos, and at least knows that he's, as far as in the Nine Hells goes, a respectable dude. And you can get money from him if that is with that. So with that paid up, you see that Tiv kind of turns, collects it, puts it in a drawer, and says, well, fantastic. Guess one other thing. Could I interest you? And she goes and reaches in and pulls out a chest. As we're kind of making deals, Love making deals. Flips it open. You see 3 greater healing potions in here. And she says, I will give you these 3 potions, as I'm sure with your voyage. And she flicks her eyes over to Artagan, who was mumbling about what the fuck is a voyage earlier, and in its head talking about how a voyage is on an airship.
An airship. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
I've been on so many voyages. I've flown an airship before.
Flown in airship doesn't know what a submarine is. You know, they're not super popular out on
Hasn't actually
coast.
flown an airship.
But yeah, you see Tiv say, I will give you these 3 greater healing potions for a little bit more about where you're going. I do love information. Sometimes, you know, information just tastes better than blood. And you see with her smile now, the couple of you that did not know, you see the fangs somehow related to vampires. But yeah.
Niall kind of looks over at Zephyr and just kind of covers his mouth to cast Send and is like, do you think it's worth the risk? Sorry, not send a message.
I was like, sending is aggressive. Sending is a big level spell right there.
Thank you. Gosh darn, at the camp.
Yeah. You're casting message to Zephyr?
Yep. Since she's the one who knows the location.
Mm-hmm. You're muted, Tate? Or...
Oh my god, I am muted. I'm so sorry. Zephyr says, yeah. And then she's gonna go up to Tiv and like just like really casually and like put her like arms on the desk and like her chin in her fist and say, so we're like totally doing this like super cool mission, right? It's like kind of low key, so don't tell anyone.
All right.
I think you promise.
Promise.
So we have to find this item. I won't tell you what it is, and I'm not telling you where we're going because I don't actually entirely know where we're going, but it's like this whole contract that, you know, Levistus had with this other guy, the something 3 something. This is me. I don't remember. Zephyr knows, but I don't remember.
So Zephyr is saying rule of 3s, and
yeah,
Levistus, yeah.
Rule of 3s, over some kind of item, and we just have to go pick it up, and I'll tell you more about it when I get back, because then I'll like actually know where it was and have seen the item, so that'll be a little more exciting.
That is exciting.
So now I was gonna insight check Tiv's reaction to Zephyr potentially blowing their cover if the towers make it a point of yesterday's make noise over yesterday.
Yeah, go for it.
21.
21. You see that Tiv is what do I roll to... What's the contested roll for that? Is it
I think it's charisma versus insight. Your pick on what charisma skill you feel is the most applicable.
Alright, I'm just gonna do a straight roll. Okay. Doesn't beat it. So yeah, you see as Tiv is kind of hearing this story, it seems very invested in what Zephyr is saying. Doesn't seem to really bat an eye if you're focusing on the contracts part about like that. Doesn't really care. Maybe the name Levistus, like her eyes go a little bit wide at the name. I mean, it's the the ruler of the place you all are currently living in. So that is a big deal for a job that you're doing. Tiv may be thinking she could have charged a little bit more for that finder's fee at that rate. But you do see she kind of wipes her lip. Does seem very like this was a good use of her bargaining of 3 greater healing potions. information. But otherwise, if you're trying to detect if she cares or has any kind of has heard anything about someone being in the towers and there being like a break-in, it doesn't appear she runs in those circles.
No, right.
But yeah, she says, well, that is very exciting. That's big stuff, working directly for the boss. For the big
I know,
man.
right? It's so exciting. I'll have to tell you more about it when I get back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we need to like catch up. I feel like it's been a while, which is so sad.
It has. Well, if you're going out, I assume this item's somewhere out on the glaciers. Have you properly brought, pickaxes? What else do people use to walk on glaciers? Those things that you put in the bottom of your shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you properly kitted out for the glaciers?
Oh, I'm
I
totally
am.
prepared.
Oh,
Hmm.
great. Why is my camera blurry?
Zephyr snatches all 3 greater potions of healing with her tail and puts them in her bag before anyone else can grab them.
So rude. I wanted one of those.
Well, hopefully,
Why is it always 3 things?
because there's 4 of you, and it makes it more
I
fun.
Mhm.
Ah,
You know?
ah.
Especially in this group, there's 4 of you that don't always all like each other. But yeah, she says, well, I guess the only thing that's left, the name of the captain and the ship, or I guess rather the submarine, his name's Captain Sin Ios. He's Sahuagin. His submarine is called the Pride. I believe you would have probably passed it on your way in. It's, I think, probably the 3rd most docked, the largest submarine at this time that's currently docked here. But yeah, he has quite a few crew members, and they were basically just going to spend a few days of downtime before heading back to where they're originally from. But I convinced them that this might be a worthy little trip. Not too hard. All they got to do is, I assume, ferry you there and ferry you back, and it's not too much for that crew. So, yeah. I guess.
Thank you.
Let me write up a little slip just so his IOU is canceled. And you see she goes over and starts writing a little note that she then folds up and hands out. She just puts it out. She's really waiting to see who will grab it.
Zephyr grabs it.
Yeah, she assumes Zephyr would, but was just seeing if Ripple or Niall were going to make a move because Zephyr's grabbed so many things so far. But yeah, well, I mean, is there anything else you all need before your journey, or are you ready to kind of get started?
I know I'm all set, so.
I'm good.
Well, fantastic. All right, well, it was wonderful meeting you all. I do look forward to our conversation when you get back, Zephyr.
Yes, of course. It was so nice catching up.
Agreed. Well, I have quite a bit to do before the day really gets started, so, and you have quite a journey, or voyage, again, looking at Artagan, ahead of you. So, it could be good to get started while you can. I'm not extremely familiar with kind of the flow of the water, but there might be a time that is more applicable to leave, or better to leave, so the captain would know that.
All right,
There goes
toodles.
Captain
And Zephyr
Sid.
skips out of the room.
Awesome.
Ripple waves and follows.
You see, Tiv gives a very casual wave back, very regal wave back. Kind of sits back down at her desk, and goes and starts rummaging through her drawers, getting ready for the day, whatever she's going to do. But yeah, you all kind of head back down out of the warehouse and onto the docks. kind of as you're headed towards the submarine's last call for anything you all would need to do in Tantlin, in this city, before you get on a ship.
Not that I can think of.
Mm-mm.
Let me consider
I
my
think
life
I'm good.
choices.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Considering your life choices is a free action.
Yeah, I should have paid a little more attention in homeschool.
Yeah, maybe picking up a book when you get back, the dictionary, thesaurus.
And I wasn't the one who was supposed to be responsible for anything. It's not my job.
Yeah, your job is to stab stuff until it stops moving, and you've done it well.
But yeah, with that, we'll say that you make your way towards the kind of the closest, or I guess the third for the third in submarine. You see, it is the one of the bigger submarines that you had passed earlier, which is kind of deceiving because when submarines are out of water, they are most just the top little bit of them is actually still out of the water. The rest is all still underneath when they are even at the surface. Though this is a fantasy submarine and not related to real life, so this one has wings, kind of, that are what's balancing it out at the top of the submarine, and also the one wing, so to speak, is against the dock, which is how you kind of gangplank can get on and off the submarine.
Cool.
So yeah, you have a cool little submarine, and if you go into Roll20, you can see a little fun submarine image. It's just missing, that is kind of like the below decks, it is missing the wings above, but in general, it's a pretty decent size submarine.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
That's really cool. What's going on here?
And yeah, we can explore that more as we continue our journey. So, what is kind of the order as you all are approaching this submarine? You see now there are more people out, people loosely. On top of this submarine, there are quite a few Sahuagin, some that look very similar to the Sahuagins that you clashed with earlier yesterday.
Oh no.
Not the same ones, can't be. They're dead.
Oh, good.
So
Oh yeah.
they're dead. But looks wise, similar as in kind of your basic run of the mill. And then you see some others that look quite a bit different, look either like different kinds of fish or shark humanoid, little different, and you see kind of leaning against the kind of, you good?
Breathed in a snack.
See, that's why you don't snack, all right? It's dangerous. But you see kind of leaning against some crates, watching the crew. As you imagine, he is also awaiting your arrival, knowing. You see Captain Sin Ios. You see a 4-armed kind of shark humanoid-looking individual. Even though it is very cold out here, he is wearing no shirt, just rippling muscle, lots of scars. He has 2 scimitars on his back and 2 scimitars on his side, and just a single scarf kind of, or necktie, ratty scarf necktie, kind of around his neck, and is watching the goings-on of his crew. He looks important, and even if you didn't know what the captain looked like, he's given off major important man vibes, or I guess important fish man person vibes. So yeah.
Niall and Infernal will go, Captain Sin of the Pride?
Ah, yes, that is me. are you supposed to be the ones I am going on this voyage with, according to Tiv?
Yeah, I'm Zephyr. Here's the little thing that covers the IOU, I guess.
He takes it. Perfect. Well, I'd say we are quickly burning daylight if we're, well, so to speak, if we are going to want to depart. It would be now or in 6 hours when the tides are a bit better. So, if you have no objection, we could get going now.
Sounds
Yeah.
perfect to me.
Works for me.
Wonderful. You see...
Is Artagan on the submarine yet?
Yeah, what's Artagan doing? As you all walk up, Artagan, you are now on a pier, which is too close, surrounded by water. What's going on?
He does the teleport thing with the Zeko, pops the Zeko in.
Like at the top of the stair ladder, it's like whoop.
As close into the submarine as he can get him.
Okay.
And creates places and pops them out.
Yeah, so as Captain Sin kind of steps onto the wing and you all follow, Artagan just pop to the on top of the submarine to which the submarine on top still, unlike a kind of more classic submarine, it does have still more of a ship vibe on top. It's more flat and there's still walking space. It's not completely kind of domed and just a single walkway to down. It's a little bit of a weird design, but it's a bit nicer that way because you all know that touching the waters is bad. This is called Stygia because the river Styx runs heavily through here and mixes with all of the water, which means you might just have a brief moment of memory loss. You could, if it's a particularly heavy kind of mixture, you're not going to remember anything ever again. So it's the reason why subs are preferred, because that way no splashing water has any concerns in that regard. But you are all able to quickly get below deck, and you see as you do, Captain Sin Ios starts kind of just shouting directions, not in common or infernal, towards his crew. Anyone that they pass, you see a few different, a few crew that look again like the classic Sahuagin. You see someone come kind of passing by him who has this very sleek, like almost dolphin look to them. They keep going, kind of nod, go off. You see what essentially looks like a anglerfish, a short and squat, who's got the whole little glowing light in front of them, big eyes, big teeth, kind of mumble and stumble by you all as you're on the submarine. And as you finally get below decks, you can feel it move a little bit. Artagan, I don't think, because there are not windows, I don't think you will be at disadvantage for everything, as you would be like you were above deck, but we might have to make a few rolls regarding your feelings. So let's start with this first one, as they are starting to untie the ship from the dock. People are getting settled. They're starting to kind of turn the engine, so to speak, on. It is causing the boat to move a little bit, and you are now keenly aware you are underwater.
Oh, great.
So
That's fun. So what am I rolling?
Wisdom saving throw, I believe,
Wait,
would be
disadvantage?
your favorite. No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, Morgan, you can only make characters that need to make wisdom saving throws.
And I'm guessing wisdom is always the dump stat.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Well, actually, Artagan's dump is intelligence, followed very closely by wisdom. Some saves. So that's an 11 total.
11.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you're not having a good time. It's
No.
not a catastrophic failure. You're not about to try to teleport yourself out of this teleport yourself out of this ship. But you're gonna find a nice corner whenever you can and sit in it and hope to not talk to anyone. But yeah,
Which I kind of do want to talk to somebody. At some point, I'm gonna ask Niall to turn me into a spider. At some point, maybe not right now, but
okay,
at some point.
yeah.
If you get to the point where you might compromise the mission, sure.
But yeah, as you see, captain's giving orders and kind of also bringing you along towards the helm of the ship. He says, "All right, well, I was told that one of you have a map or a
She's a
compass."
pointer dog.
Oh, okay. Tiefling. Where are we going?
We're going. Are we up close to a compass? Sorry. Where on the submarine are we?
Yeah, so you've moved to the you got on this middle of the submarine, middle to the back end of the submarine. You passed a lot of people, that's why he was giving orders towards the helm at the front. And now at the front you can see it is very interestingly not windows, but there is somehow you're able to see what is on the other side. It's like almost a little camera situation, a holodeck like screen that comes up. So right now it shows nothing really in front of you as the ship is backed out and is in just the middle of the harbor. There's a center console which has a sonar situation that's in 3D, so it dings in anything it pings off of. A very advanced steampunk ship, fueled by a lot of magic as well that's on here.
I was about to say, how many soul coins does it take to turn this bad boy on?
Who knows? You probably don't want to know the number. But yeah, so as you see, you can see that on kind of above that sonar, there's another holographic compass, and it has the north, south, east, west on it. I will say a very interesting thing for the three of you that have contracts with Levistus. You kind of look, as you're looking at that sonar ping, I need an intelligence check from all of you.
Ooh.
That's me.
Yes. It is just not Niall.
That's a 17.
Wow, my trend continues. Wait, I can have flash of genius.
This might
Intelligence.
be the thing to add Flash of Genius to.
Yeah, how much?
Intelligence. Where's my intelligence?
Is this one going to be at disadvantage?
Can't find my intelligence.
Because what is your fear state again? What is your or thing state?
Yeah.
Your...
Let me see if I put it in my things.
I got a 13
It's probably
with
wisdom.
flash of genius.
Damn.
Yeah, I told you. I'm not. I just
Hey.
don't roll well on those checks. Otherwise, I'd
Hey,
be fine.
You need a
Wait, so this
cleanser
is like a
dice.
straight,
I know.
like, intelligence check?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, my poor boy is not intelligent.
What'd you get?
It'll be a 9.
9. And then Artagan, what did you get?
17.
A 17.
Hey, someone probably.
So yeah, we'll say this is ironic. We'll keep it. So Artagan, all of you are kind of looking at all this technology. It's very advanced, kind of magic tech that you all have not seen before. And it's really cool. You can feel you're moving a little bit, and as you kind of exit the harbor, as Captain Sin is pretty sure that wherever you're going is not going to be within the harbor. You see a major shape ping back, and Artagan, you recall that Levistus is entombed a mile down in the harbor, and that is the ping of the boat picking up just the very top of the tomb of Levistus. Your boss man. But yeah, as you all are kind of, the ship is going, captain is steering. There is no steering wheel. You just see he has like gloves, and he's making the motions like it would be a steering wheel, a little VR steering wheel situation, like a giant ship's wheel.
He's like, let me get my Oculus on.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, he looks to you, Zephyr, for the directions.
Yep, Zephyr is going to point to the direction on the compass. That's where she's getting the vibe, and be like, it's that way.
All right. You see he turns the ship wheel, kind of watching to see as you're kind of like, keep going, stop. And he centers and freezes the wheel at that. He's kind of looks, he says, do you have a approximate distance, a time, any way to judge how long we'll be on this course?
I'm sure I could figure out the math, but that's going to take me a second, that we're actually starting to move towards our location. I'll have to just see the rate at which the pulse, feeling kind of grows stronger, do some calculations, and then I'll get back to you.
All right. Well, I assume it will be at least a full day's worth of travel. As of that, I don't think I really have anything more for you all. Stay out of my crew's way. Let me know if they're causing you any issues. Otherwise, yeah, enjoy your time on my ship, I guess. But no, leave here. I know it's really cool and all of the technology, but I cannot, I do not like having people where I control this, very expensive piece of machinery.
Of course.
There's bunks. There should be some bunks that aren't just pools of water, but if not, come let me know. We will figure something out.
Pool water sounds good to me.
All right. So yeah.
Did Niall get the impression that they have relative free reign of the ship so long as they don't interfere with the crew's operation?
Yeah, it appears that as long as you stay out of the helm, unless needed
Instructed
to change
otherwise.
or you need to give a direction change, Zephyr, he wants you out of the helm and don't get in the way of his crew that are going to be doing whatever on the ship. Otherwise, yeah, you can kind of go wherever you need.
Sweet. Zephyr immediately darts out of the helm, turns invisible, and goes to find the engine room and study as much as she can about this ship while she's on it.
All right.
Ripple
yeah.
is going to go claim one of the pools of water for
That's right. You are.
I'm a water
you are a
genasi.
genasi.
I want a pool of water.
Do a loop around the ship to get a bearing of what's where. And if he finds anywhere that seems obviously off limits, he's not going to approach, but just make a mental marker of where it is.
All right. What's Artagan doing?
Probably. Kind of staying as central as possible wherever he's allowed to. Just kind of chilling, try to get his footing. Not in the feeling of being underwater.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long time since then, and that was not a good time.
Yeah. And I will say, so Zephyr, you dart off towards the engine room, which is at the kind of closer to the back of the submarine. Niall, you're wandering around, looking at just the general layout of the ship, and Ripple, you went to go find a bunk and make it your own. Ripple, you're easily able to do that. You see that there are several, and surprisingly written in common. You imagine that their language might not have writing, so anything that's written is in common. You can see like names on doors, and then you see a few that just have no name, but when you slide it open, they're unlocked. You can see there's like 2 shallow pools of water, not super shallow, but it's probably gonna be comfy, at least for you. Unsure
Nice.
for your friends who are a little less water inclined. Artagan's worst nightmare is to sleep in a pool of water.
No.
I don't think Artagan would even do a waterbed.
No.
No.
But yeah, you can easily find that. Niall, as you're wandering, you see similar thing of the bunks, kind of the crew area. You see a kind of general like galley area, so to speak, like where there's just tables and kind of dry food. There's nothing for cooking. It seems there's just lots of kind of salted fish, a ton of salted fish. So, it's weird. I mean, fish eat fish, right? But it's fine. It's kind of, storeroom, and that you see, you do pass one door that is locked and guarded by 2 of the crew. You're not sure what's behind that. And as you keep going around the ship, you see another door, again, locked and guarded. But this one, with the proximity to it, you imagine is the engine room, as you can feel the kind of humming and just the magical power coming through the door even from that room.
Yeah, he's gonna then look for a dry bed.
Okay.
Probably comes across Ripple like putting up photos of members of the polycule.
Yeah.
That
It was
was
like
working.
unrolling like a long, like open the wallet. It's just like folds out like 7 people from Polycule, being like looking through it. Yeah, your bifold wallet.
Yeah, that probably.
But yeah, I'd say now you weren't able to find like beds, so to speak, but you did find 2 closer to the kind of galley storeroom area, where it just looks to be 2 like decently sized rooms that just don't really have much in them other than a few empty crates. So you're like, I could put a bedroll here and no one will really bother me. It would be nice. It looks out of the way enough, like it's not being actively used. So
Yeah, moves to make a little room for himself by picking a wall, putting some crates up to block view of that wall. It's like,
beautiful.
Good enough.
Nice. Yeah, Artagan, you are kind of sitting in the. I would say you were kind of sitting in the way of the walkway, because you were just kind of sitting there, like in the center of the ship, and you see, as you're sitting there, one of the less common looking, let's call it, Sahuagin kind of walks up to you and sees you sitting there. You see, and when you look up, you see a kind of, again, a very shark-like, but not as much as Captain Sin. There's more so just like sharp teeth, a lot of fins, and you're like, I don't know how many fins shark are supposed to have, but there's a lot of fins here, like fins, like multiple on each arm, like multiple down the back, and you see she's wearing kind of what looks to be more religious clothing. You're like, I know I know a religious person when I see one. That right there, that's either a cleric or something. You see, she also has a staff. And you see as she kind of stops in front of you and looks down at you sitting there unhappily. She's like, "Are you feeling all right?" You see, she speaks very good common for a fish.
Yeah, just seasick, I guess. It's been a while.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily recommend being right in the walkway, as it is a very good way to get trampled. However, the galley is pretty close to here and also a bit lower in the ship, so it doesn't rock as much. That might be a good place to stay.
Lower. Okay, sure. Sure. It's all underwater anyway. What does it matter at this point? Where is that?
That's true. I'll walk with you. My name's Priestess Atos. And you are?
The Artagan.
I do not believe I've met many Earth Genasi before. Do you all have a fear of water?
It's not a fear. I'm good.
I know fear when I see them. This is absolutely fear.
Just kind of glancing around to see if any of his
Compatriots, comrades.
I'm like, comrades came to mind, then I was like, it's an A word. Accomplices? Which I guess isn't untrue.
Party
Associates.
members.
Yeah.
Friends!
Associates.
Seeing if
kidding.
anybody else is like around.
I would say at this rate, no one else is probably around. Zephyr, we are kind of pausing at. Zephyr is dealing with. We're gonna figure out how Zephyr's gonna deal with getting into a locked engine room. So
Yay!
that's over
Exciting.
there. Niall was doing a wraparound of the ship and then making his bed. Same with Ripple. So I'd say at this point, the only other people around occasionally walking by are some of the other kind of Sahuagin like crew, I guess.
It's fine. As long as it's not the party, especially. Fine, but do you like have anything for that? Or anything?
Let me consult my. Let's see what does a
Drugs?
what does a Sahuagin priestess have on them? She might
Hands
have,
up
she
for
might
her
have like
bottle.
she might have like calm emotions. I don't know.
Hands are tagging a bottle of booze.
Yeah, right. I could bless you. Could you bless? No.
I finally get blessed.
You see that she goes, unfortunately I don't carry anything on me, as this is not an uncomfortable situation for us to be in. Except maybe the fact that we're enclosed and not actually in the water. But I do think that you prefer it that way.
I don't know what I prefer. Of the two, being on dry land, actual Earth, would be preferable.
That's
I
fair.
thought this was going to be an air voyage.
What made you think that?
I thought that's what a voyage was.
If I do recall, I think voyage is just terminology. But my common is not perfect. But I do believe it is just some way of transportation. You could have a voyage across land, or over it, or under.
So I was right. Cool. I was starting to... I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Come, I'll show you where the the galley is. The snacks.
Oh.
That could be. It's all fish, but
I'll eat anything.
wonderful. So yeah, she
You're
kind of
fucking
helps you.
with your chum.
She puts her hand out to help you up.
Yeah, take your hand.
Yeah. It is slimy. It is nice and it's slimy in a way that's not unpleasant. It's weird. You think it should be. You're like, this shouldn't be unpleasant, but it feels right because she is a fish, and she's gonna be a little damp. Okay.
Fine.
Yeah. But yeah.
Probably got new villain skin too.
Yeah, a little shark skin. You know, it's real rough. It's an interesting combination. But yeah,
Nice.
she begins to walk with you, and I would say Artagan probably has very little understanding of Sahuagin culture. Maybe a little bit. Give me a religion or history check. You've been on Stygia enough, and they are prevalent. Decently prevalent.
I'm just gonna roll flat until you can tell me disadvantage.
Yeah.
That's a total of 2.
Cool. She's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
As she is walking with you, any Sahuagin crew that come across you either immediately scatter and go the other way, or like bow aggressively in front of her. And she's ignoring all of it as she's walking with you to the galley. And we... Yeah, do you have anything... Does Artagan have anything he would be saying as he is walking?
Not saying, but really nice older religious woman. Kind of reminded him a little bit of his mom.
Little mom action. There we go.
Yeah.
Mark it on the bingo card. That should be a bingo spot.
Yeah.
It should.
But all right, as Artagan is kind of finding his way to the galley, so-called area, Zephyr, you had made fast work straight out of the helm towards what you assumed is the engine room. You're pretty sure with machinery, you know where it is.
Did I pass the galley on my way there?
I would say you passed. You would have gone around because, yeah.
No, I'm like, oh.
If I wouldn't have thought to grab any snacks. Unless I pass the galley, because then if I pass the galley, I'm gonna grab some snacks.
Yeah, I would say the way the kind of layout is, there's top deck above water.
Mm-hmm.
That will not be prevalent while we are journeying. Then there's this second floor down. This is where the helm is. There's quite a lot of random other storerooms. This is where that room that was locked, that and guarded Niall passed. Unsure what that could be. And then this is also where the one of the entrances to the engine room is. For note, the engine room has entrances on both this floor and the deck below it, as it spans kind of the whole. It's a big engine to power this thing, and all the magical things on it. So it kind of is hollowed out 2 floors. The floor below is where the kind of galley is, and where all the crew sleeping quarters are.
Cool.
So you did not pass it. You don't even actually know it exists yet, because if you're just making your beeline straight for the engine, you haven't been given the tour.
No snacks. I should have prioritized it better. It's fine. I've got Ripple's trail mix.
Yeah, there you go.
You sit in the middle until someone gives you a tour.
Yeah, you just gotta be in the way until some kind old lady is like, actually. But yeah, you have made you said you turned invisible?
Yeah.
So yeah, you are walking, you see that locked door originally guarded. You were like, that the engine room is not behind that. You can't sense any of the kind of infernal machine power. You can definitely sense where it is, though, because you can sense it anywhere on the ship, because that's how potent it is. And is the second locked door that it also has 2 guards. You would imagine it's locked. It might not be, but it is guarded, so there's a high likelihood it's also locked.
Darn, it's guarded!
It is guarded and locked. It's almost like it's very important to the ship.
Oh, no. Are there any vents that I could, crawl through?
Give me a investigation check.
Okay, alrighty. Let's go. No!
The curse continues.
Yeah, 8.
8.
No, wait, I didn't. No, wait, I'm not proficient in that. Yeah, 8.
8. You're looking around. You do not see any vents. As you're kind of looking, the wall at the back kind of curves around like this, and then there's the door that's locked in the center, so it's probably hollowed into maybe something more of a sphere on the inside. And as you're kind of running your hands along the wall, there's something funky about the wall, but you cannot find a vent.
Darn! Oh no! I know how I'm gonna get into the locked room, I just don't know how I'm gonna get past the guards.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Especially because, maybe don't murder or cause chaos on a ship that you are guests on.
Cause chaos. That would be so silly, so crazy. Not anything that I would do ever. Okay, I do have thaumaturgy. So maybe is there do I see a warning light anywhere?
Yeah, above the door there is what looks to be kind of like not a candle, a lantern, but it is not currently lit, and it is in a approximate location that you imagine it would be used to warn about something.
Okay. Shoot. So it says I can change flames that are existent, but I can't light them myself.
That's produce flame.
I think I'm gonna have, from some part of the ship, farther down the hallway, I'm gonna create some ominous whispers from down the hallway to see if it gets their attention.
Okay, yeah. You create these whispers. Are they saying anything? Are they in any language, or is it just kind of nonsense?
Nonsense.
Yeah. Let's see. Everyone else, give me a perception check.
What's my perception?
That's the fun thing about ships. They have lots of vents that carry lots of noise.
They did. Well, I don't know that because I couldn't find any. Well,
They're somewhere.
I know that there are vents on the ship, but I don't know where they are. Oh gosh.
Break out my little
6,
calculator.
so-
So I can't do simple
6.
math.
Yeah, Niall, you're currently shoving boxes around. You don't hear anything. This is about the time you're moving your bed space together.
That is
I
a
got in.
15.
15 and Ortagan? 18. I would say, Ripple, you are, because you claimed your bed, or were you decide to take a little nap? Were you just kind of chilling around there? What were you doing?
I don't know.
You got the whole ship. You could do nothing. You could do anything. You don't have to run the ship, so.
You can do
Yeah,
anything.
I guess I would just kind of start wandering around a little now that
Yeah.
I've claimed my space.
Yeah. As you're wandering, you hear some really creepy kind of like clanging of pipes and whispers. And the harder you try to listen in and figure out like what is that, you cannot figure out what it's saying. And it's eerie. It's definitely make you kind of your hair stand up and like little, shivers run down your spine. You're like, great, did we get on a haunted submarine? That's what I want. Artagan, you absolutely hear these. Oh yeah, what are you doing?
Ripple would probably just be like, I don't feel like dealing with this right now. Maybe later I'll come looking for it, but not right now.
Yeah.
And walks in the opposite direction.
Yeah, Ripple just stops and like turns around and is like, oh, I forgot something this way. And just goes to the other end of the ship. Yeah, Artagan, as you are walking with Priestess Atos, you hear this ominous whispers and let's see. She does not. So you were just she's just trying to like, this is right when she was trying to cheer you up about like snacks. And yeah, you start to hear some whispering from the ship itself. The ship is whispering to you.
Oh god. Oh god. Oh no. What have I done? What did I do to deserve this? Yeah, he kind of like just like freezes in his tracks. It is just like deer in the headlights kind of. It's like a little unresponsive, like trying to like listen and like figure out like what's going on.
Yeah.
If it's his own head, and why.
Yeah, you freeze, and the priestess kind of stops and listens, see if she hears anything or senses anything, kind of that animalistic instinct of like one person stop, we all fucking make sure everything's good. But when she doesn't hear anything, she just kind of leans against her staff and waits until you're going to come back to, I'd say Earth, but until you're going to come back to Stygia. She lets you deal with your little moment.
Great.
Zephyr, as you do this, you see that the two Sahuagin kind of guards, so to speak, grab their spears a bit tighter and kind of murmur to each other. So everything is just unintelligible. You can't hear what they're saying. They can't tell what those whispers are saying. But they do not move from their post because they might have been trained a little bit.
Okay. My next thing, it says you can cause harmless tremors in the ground for 1 minute. Can I cause harmless tremors in the ground? Does this count as the ground?
It does not count as the ground. This is an object.
Oh, great.
But this is confused at why the ground underneath them is shaking.
Yeah. You just caused tremors all the way down at the bottom of the
no. Shoot. I guess I'm gonna stop. I'm just gonna wait and see if anyone exits or enters. No, that could be bad. That would be worse. Never mind. No, yeah, I guess I want these guards to move.
You want the guards to not guard?
Yes. Why are they so good at their jobs? Shoot. I think I'm gonna camp out here outside the hallway for a bit while I think of an idea.
I actually do have two things for Niall.
Okay. Yeah, let's see. Artagan is currently having a crisis. I mean, ongoing. Supported by Priestess Atos. Niall's the only one who's talked to one of the other crew members outside of the captain. The other crew members being some of the people the different looking Sahuagin that I described are kind of the more senior, I guess you could call it, Sahuagin on the vessel. But yeah, Ripple is doing some wandering, heard some creepy stuff and said, no, and turned around and wandered a different direction. Niall, what is it that you wanted to do while Zephyr is plotting to get into the...
I have the plot. She didn't plot for too long, but I do have a plan.
2 things. First thing, since he's in an enclosed space with them, he's gonna try to remember any word of mouth he's heard about these kind of creatures.
Okay. So yeah, history or... we'll do history because I don't think the priestess was actually past any of you when you first walked on the boat, so you're not aware that there's a priestess on the vessel.
On the same vein, can I make Zephyr make the same roll? Because I was thinking about that as well for her plotting to get into the room.
Anyone who wants to, outside of Artagan, Ripple, if you would like to, you may as well make a history check to figure out what you know about their culture.
Why not?
Niall got a 16 for his history.
16, cool.
Zephyr
What
got
is
a
my
17.
17.
What is my modifier for history? Can't find it in this list because it's so small. Why is the print so tiny?
I know.
Oh, it's just a +1. Hey! That's a dirty 20! I rolled a 19!
All right.
It's the best roll of the night.
Does this mean one of the members of Ripple's Poly has to be a Sahuagin?
Maybe they just are friends with the Sahuagin. So yeah, what are you trying to
I mean,
remember?
hey, I'm a water genasi.
You are a water genasi. It would make sense, yeah. Niall and Zephyr, what are kind of things you're trying to recall or figure out?
For now, generally, what their general vibe is, faux pas. Yeah, that's probably the 2 big things. Like, what are they general disposition, general behavior? How do you avoid getting them upset?
So this is a little different than if you were all not kind of already working for devils and everything. Sahuagin are normally pretty aggressive and abrasive against humanoids in general. They don't usually get along with them or anything like that. However, you all are kind of falling into the category of like other/devil since you do so much work for Levistus. So in that regard, you imagine that they're going to be decently friendly, again, or maybe not friendly, Civil, yeah. Talking, it's probably best to just talk with the main, kind of more important ones. They do have a pretty strong hierarchy, and it would be seen like a bit weird if you were trying to do more than just like ask for something or like that from any of the underlings. Actual conversations probably should be weighted to important people. Don't bring up sea elves in their presence. That would be a really, other than maybe be like, fuck sea elves. That might get you something. They have a huge kind of combat against them. As far as religion goes, sharks are extremely important to them. Their goddess is a giant shark that swims in between this plane of Stygia and their plane, which connects via a portal somewhere deep in the oceans around here, which is how they also get in and out of here. So yeah, that's kind of what you remember. I'd say all of you get that information, the 3 of you that recalled that. And, oh yeah, Artagan rolled like a 2, so Artagan got none of this shit. And then if there's anything else, Zephyr, that you were looking for specifically?
Specifically, I don't know, is there any way to sweet talk them? Just in case I need to.
Well, you got that information that you're not going to be sweet talking any of the like basic crew.
Oh, is
They're
this guy
gonna-
basic? Are the guards basic?
Yeah.
Ah, the guards are basic.
The guards are basic. They're just some fish boys who are standing with spears. It's also why they did not go investigate anything. They're like, I was told to stand here, and I'll stand here. So...
Above my pay grade.
Yep. They said that's above me. Take it up with someone else. That the captain will deal with that. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Not that I can think of right now.
All right. But yeah, we'll say that roll stands as you all are going forward. So if you have any questions about like interactions or whatnot, you all rolled pretty decently. So you can ask and probably get the answer.
That's fun.
Second thing I will do is probably, out of curiosity, swing by the unknown locked door, pop a detect thoughts, and see if there's anything beyond elevator music in the heads of the two guards.
Yeah. So this brings you up onto the same floor as where Zephyr is, but Zephyr's still invisible. What is the range of your detect thoughts?
I think I have to be within 60 feet. Let me double check this. 30 feet. But
I would
he's
say-
going to walk past them like he's walking past them.
Yeah. So you walk past the locked door. You get nothing in their head in regards of thoughts. It is they might know what's behind the door, but they don't really care. And as you keep going, because it is that locked door a little bit further, and the engine room, you can detect the thoughts of the two guards, and then a very common presence that you know is an invisible Zephyr is there, who is... You hear the detect thoughts going of how she's trying to figure out to get into this room. What you do with that is you, but that's what you get. Surface level detect thoughts can be used to detect people you do not see. So,
Walking past, just again, glove to mouth, message, don't cause a scene. And the ripple, sorry, to Zephyr as he passes, or...
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, I have a minute, let me, like, speed walk. If I see anyone important, skim their head.
Okay, yeah, so then you keep going, leaving Zephyr to whatever she's doing, as you're going to go see if there's anyone else you pass on the ship. Zephyr, you get this, you see Niall coming, and you're just plotting, and then you hear in your head, Niall tell you not to cause a scene. What are you doing? You're muted. Also, you would know you cannot respond, or that would count as casting a spell. I'm pretty sure.
So she's not gonna
I
respond.
think...
Yeah,
I think
you might be able to
she
respond
can respond to mine, but she cannot send a
on
follow-up.
her own. Yeah, so you could respond, but you cannot, and that wouldn't break your invisibility.
You got like a sentence.
Okay.
Walk away.
Yeah, I think she's gonna say like, you don't cause a scene.
Wow, what riveting conversation.
Sorry, you got me
mature.
on the spot. Yes, Zephyr, the 19-year-old, the pinnacle of maturity in this party.
Mhm.
The baby.
She's 19. Oh, I forgot
Yeah.
about that. And then she was so much older.
No,
This
no.
is
I think
so
Niall's in the same like age bracket too as Zephyr.
Wow, the two
It
of
makes
them just
so much more
babies.
sense.
Artagan's an old
Yes,
man
I got,
over
like,
here.
He's an old man.
Yeah, I
He's
got,
over 30. He's in his 30s, okay? Leave him alone.
Yeah, and Ripple's like mid to late, like 20s.
Yeah. All right, what are you doing, Zephyr? What's your
Okay.
new plot?
My new plot is to use my thaumaturgy to
Mhm.
make concerning engine noises come from behind the door, like some loud clangs, like the ship might start falling apart.
Okay. All right.
Just ask.
Why would I ask?
She's too prideful. We're literally on the pride.
They also might say no! And then it's more obvious that I try to sneak in.
You see that the two of the guards look at each other, and one turns and takes his webbed hand and kind of smacks it against the wall, and you see that light go off and a alarm go through the ship. As they do not move, but they call someone. They call someone to check on the engine. They are not engineers; they are guards.
Great. That's lovely.
And you hear some stomping and squishy wet feet of someone coming, hauling their way towards the engine room.
Absolutely detect thought on the person beeline and past my whole speed walking.
You just hear, "My baby." That's it is the
Yes.
it is the squat what you call it, anglerfish looking. So again, that's like 3.5 feet tall, who is now barrel like charging towards this engine room. He's got his little lantern thing in front of him, his big bug eyes, and he is going, and you see as soon as he gets there, they start going at whatever the guards and him, in their language, which I know no one speaks because no one decide to pick that. Makes sense. And then he puts his hand on the door. Looks like there's a flash of blue, and he is the door kind of slides open, and he goes inside.
Okay, Zephyr. Oh shoot. Part of me wants to just sneak in there, but part of me wants her to talk to him because then I feel like she could learn so much more about the ship, and they could nerd out, and it would be great. Yeah, I think she's actually gonna drop her invisibility, like obviously not where anyone can see her, and like
something.
Approach the guy and like offer her assistance in whatever's going on.
Okay, yeah. So we'll say, right as he's about to step in, or like right as he steps across, you've undone your invisibility, and you offer. What do you say as you walk up behind him as he's crossing into the engine room?
Hi, I heard the alarm bells go off as I was walking around, and I know a little bit about engineering. I was wondering if I could offer you a hand.
You see big eyes that like are looking up at you, massive deep water fish eyes, and you hear him go, sure, yes, sure.
Oh wait, this
quick.
is gonna be so exciting. Okay.
I don't know if it will be. And then he walks in, and as you cross the threshold, you feel a very powerful kind of. You were already able to sense the infernal kind of workings of this. When you cross the threshold, I need you to. Actually, you're evil aligned, right?
Yeah.
So you're fine. But you feel there is a barrier that you stepped across, and the immense amount of infernal energy that is being put off by this machine would be crippling to someone that wasn't a little bit evil.
Well, that sounds like someone else's problem.
The sign by this barrier, spark, do not enter.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, you can look and see there's kind of a circular metal platform all the way around, big kind of whirling red and blue engine sphere of energy in the center, and it covers 2 of these floors, so it's probably about 20 feet tall of this swirling energy that sparks off, much like you can kind of see in the picture, that sparks off to different nodes across the room. And you see the engineer, so to speak, is walking around and checking things, not really seeming to pay super close to attention, you think, to where you are in this room.
Cool. Well, she's gonna like be talking to him about like what the things he's checking on and like trying to be helpful, but if he's not really being super receptive and she feels like she's learning everything that she can, she's gonna cast spider climb and just climb around the engine and check it out.
Okay. He is being receptive enough and checking on things. You see he does seem distracted because you're aware that there's nothing wrong, and so he can't quite figure out why they called him over here. He was very concerned, and so he's doing a thorough check of everything.
Ooh, nice.
But yeah, eventually, a little ways through, he remembers his manners and introduces himself. I am Deep Diver Rick. R-Y-K. Everyone always spells it wrong.
I completely understand. I mean, I have a Y in my name too. My name is Zephyr, and yeah, people spell it wrong too sometimes. It's just people just don't understand how the alphabet works.
The common is very confusing to learn.
Definitely.
Hold on. I will put pictures of Rick and the priestess in the chat.
Yay!
That's Rick.
That's Rick.
Right.
Oh, cool.
And that is the priestess. In approximately, but yes.
Nice.
But yeah, I will say that Zephyr, you learn quite a lot, or you learn a good amount, but you get that you will learn. Like, he seems open to showing you more, and at the very least, you have made contact with the engineer of the ship. So
Sweet. Great. Yeah, she's gonna learn everything she can from him.
awesome. But yeah, as the kind of day wears on, Zephyr, you've spent a bit of time, Rick checked everything, shows that the engine is fine. I'd say Artagan, you were talking with the priestess for a little bit. You eventually got to the galley, talked with the priestess for a little bit more, but she decided to continue on her way, leaving you in the galley. I'd say eventually, probably, Niall, you made your way there as well. If you're, perusing the ship, the submarine, you found your way there, and probably Ripple as well, as you turned and went the opposite direction of any creepy noises that were happening. So I'd say eventually you all, it's not a super large area, and kind of one of the bigger open areas that is kind of okay to chill in outside of just like your rooms is the galley, which sometimes you see other Sahuagin crew kind of come in there and eat, and they sit off to the side. They don't really talk to you much. But yeah, anything else that you all are going to do as the day kind of wears on? Zephyr, you're aware, as of right now, you seem to be on track still. So.
Oh yeah, she does the math.
Mm-hmm.
At some point when she's like done like exploring the engine room, like climbing all around it, checking everything out, talking with Rick, she'll go back up to the front of the ship and tell the captain her approximate of when they'll get there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's approximately the end of day 2, you think.
Sweet.
So.
Great.
This is the part where normally I would have my character start reading a book. Ripple is illiterate.
You could read a picture
Ripple
book.
can't read.
Ripple brought a picture book,
If I was getting the sense that the day is nearing the end, he's gonna look over at our tag. He's like, "All right, do you want any spider time today?"
Spider
I'll let you know. I think I'm okay right now.
Alright, there'll only be an hour. But first, he just randomly expends a healing word from his spell store ring.
Okay.
We'll hold it up to his mouth as like, target Zephyr with Descendant stored in the ring. Like, I found a dry spot for us to put our bedrolls. We're chilling in the galley. He doesn't care about the rest of the words.
All right. Yeah. I'd say
And
Zephyr, you
then
receive
he-
that.
And then
Cool.
he's gonna store a dimension door back in the ring.
All right.
So let me mark down that 4th level spell slot for the long rest cycle. And update our log on what's currently in the ring.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Um,
does Zephyr reply to the message?
No.
As the three of you are in the galley, you see that dolphin-looking Sahuagin come into the galley and grab some fish, talk with a few of the crew very briefly, kind of maybe giving directions, and then sees you all there and comes over to, I assume, are you all kind of just chilling at one of the tables?
Yeah.
Weird, like, floor, it's like sitting on the floor table, as that seems to work best for their anatomy rather than chairs. And it works fine for you all as well. You see that this individual is like kitted out in strong, like, leather armor up one arm, specifically like leather and ringmail that also comes up to like protect the neck, you know, like spiky off the side. Some pretty aggressive leather armor. And they come over to you and introduce themselves. So you are our guests. My name is Kai Malice. I am in charge of security on this vessel, so please don't cause any issues. And then her eyes kind of narrow. Aren't there 4 of you?
Who's missing?
Or
Zephyr, I don't think is there.
Oh,
No.
okay. I was gonna be like, pretty sure Ripple's there at least.
yeah,
Okay.
the other one's probably speaking with Captain Sin to make sure we're actually on track and not wasting your time.
I see. Well,
I don't understand how the compass in her head works, but it's gonna point us at our objective.
very well. As long as you stay out of our way, I'm sure we'll get there. Smooth sailing, I've heard you like to say.
Yeah, I've heard that expression often enough. By the way, as head of security, how often do things pick fights with these subs?
Well, this time of year and this direction we are heading, I think we should be alright. Most of the time, Kraken are further north, and anything that would come from our home plane is a bit to the east. So, if anyone is going to be picking a fight, it is most likely you all with us, to be completely honest.
Well, I'm not sure about my other two. You're safe from me until our return.
Wonderful. Well, I must do my rounds. Some guards earlier mistakenly heard something in the engine room and caused a fuss for Rick. So, if you'll excuse
That's what that alarm was about.
Yes,
I figured it wasn't anything important once it shut off.
indeed. But I must encourage their closer listening in the future. Anyway, a pleasure. And you see they turn their swish of dolphin tail and gracefully exit the galley.
Once Nio knows it's just like the three of them, he'll whisper, "That alarm was totally Zephyr." And just keep on drinking while he's drinking.
Yep. All right. Zephyr, after you shared with the captain the direction, where do you go? Or what do you do?
Actually, I want to talk to the captain.
Okay.
For a quick second.
Yeah. He is still standing there, two arms crossed, and then two arms crossed in front of his body and two arms crossed like at parade rest behind his back. Having forearms is real difficult. There's a lot to do with them at all times.
Mm-hmm.
The top two, though, have the kind of weird gloves with the gems that apparently control the ship. Although, considering it is staying on one course, yeah. And as you look over the kind of setting or the helm of the ship, you can see that nothing really is pinging on the radar, and on the side there's kind of a scale, and you see that it says 400. You are 400 feet below the surface.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zephyr's gonna say, so what kind of deal would I have to make with you to make sure that this ship doesn't leave our, final destination without me on it? Just in case my companions, I don't know, try to leave me behind.
You see he kind of pauses for a second, looking at you. Well, What if you're dead? How would I... I'm assuming I can leave if you're dead.
Well, yeah, leave them behind if I'm dead, but...
No.
Oh, wait, no,
you
don't.
behind.
Sorry. Oh my god. Well, if she's dead, she's okay with him abandoning everyone else there.
Yeah, I know she is,
Yeah.
but he has...
Yeah, sorry. That's not, we're not on that phase of the conversation yet. Sorry.
Oh, okay. He's still on the conversation of, like, he's got a
Mhm.
job to do, he's going to bring you there and bring you back, because that was the deal, or what he owes Tiv. So, and, so yeah, I would say he does say that, that he's going to not leave anyone unless they are dead, because that is the deal he made with Tiv.
Okay.
Like, he doesn't care what y'all's squabble is. He was told, bring here, bring back. He's like,
Yeah.
good to go. Are you expecting to be left behind?
No, I just like to make sure I have insurance. How about this? Albert, if I'm dead, you're going to stay with my body. But if I'm not dead, you're going to follow everyone else. And if they return with Albert and not me, you'll know that I'm still alive and can't leave until I'm on the ship.
Yes, so what do I get for that?
Zephyr would offer money. She's got money.
You see, he considers. I mean, I am not going to send any of my crew out there if it kills or has caused you not to return. I am not risking my crew to find wherever you are.
I'm not telling you to find me. I'm just saying that you can't leave with everyone else until I'm there. If I'm still alive.
Day.
Okay. Sounds good.
And let's see, how much gold does she have? He's gonna be like 800 gold.
800 gold. In my inventory it says I have 365, but we didn't talk about like money at the start. So,
maybe say it will tap her out if she takes it.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
If you take it, you'll have no more money to bribe people with if you agree
Oh,
to it.
shoot. I don't know if that's a good enough deal. Let me think it over, and I'll give you the money before we leave the ship if I agree.
Sounds good. Is everything alright with my engine?
Yeah. Actually, Rick and I looked at it. Everything's great.
Wonderful. Very well. Well, come see me if the course needs to adjust.
Yeah, of course.
Alright. And with that, where are you headed now?
I guess to the galley because I want snacks.
Yeah, you finally make your way to the galley. You see the rest of your accomplices there at one of the tables. You see that there's lots of dried kind of fish and seaweed options as far as snacks. And yeah, you all are back together and able to discuss anything or kind of fast forward to taking a rest if that is what you so decide.
Zephyr's going to grab some snacks. Dried fish sounds awesome.
So, what exactly are we expecting when we get there, or are you also going to be surprised by whatever we see? Man, it's late if I'm tripping over my words. This is table talk, and if need be, I will absolutely burn a gift of gab to make that come out smooth in character.
No, I think we got it. Does Zephyr know what they're walking into? What y'all are walking into?
I don't think so.
Zephyr does not. Zephyr has the knowledge of the location. However, I don't know, did anyone ever do a history check on Rule of Threes? And this, the item that you are getting?
No,
I
but
don't think you did. So,
I don't know.
I
if you want
will
to do a
take
history
the
or an
opportunity.
arcana, you can. Arcana for the item, history would be Rule of Threes.
I'll
Alright,
do
I will-
a history on the rule of threes, just
Alright.
because.
If
I'm
Niall
bored.
was allowed to attempt both, he would. Or do I have to declare?
You have to declare which role is which.
What?
I'm gonna
first
do
he's
the
gonna do
item.
his history.
For
Okay.
sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use a flash of genius to make that a dirty 20.
Okay, 32.
I've
Niall
got a
got
13 for the rule of threes.
Okay.
17 for the rule of three.
I got a 3.
Well, there it is.
Well,
Yes.
surprisingly, 3 was the target.
Right?
There we
That would be a funny for the Rule of Threes you have to roll something that's in
Divisible.
threes. Yeah, it's divisible by 3.
Oh no, Kiki is eating something, so I need to grab her.
We will wait until
No,
well, I guess no. So because you're doing the are you also going to do the item?
Yeah,
You
he's
might as
going
well
to
do that
attempt
now,
Can-
so I could tell
Can
you.
I
both
also
at the same
roll
time.
for the history as
Yeah.
well, like a separate roll?
Dirty 20 for the item.
Okay, so you both rolled really well for the item.
Yeah, let's see. Oh no, I rolled a 3 for the roll of
Wow.
threes.
I love it.
That's a 7.
Okay. You're not really sure about Rule of Threes.
No.
So, as far as the item, the Rule of Threes pyramid, you all know that it was lost a long time ago, as that was kind of one of the issues you had finding the contract, is that it was from a really long time ago. The item, you recall, especially because you read the contract, it kind of imparted some in your brain, Zephyr. Niall, this is purely arcana from you're like, I must have read something about this in a book, heard about it. This pyramid is it can open a portal connecting one plane to another with no time limit or expiration, and it cannot be negated by any deity or devil that owns that plane. So it is a doorway between planes that cannot be negated by even gods. Quite a powerful magical item.
I'm just imagining, like, someone uses it to drag Sigil into the Blood War, and the Lady of Pain is just like, well, time to show them why I'm named that way.
Yep. Yeah, so you don't have any knowledge about how to use it. You imagine it would be quite difficult to enable that if it is that level of power. But that is what it does. And it makes sense why your boss would want it. Who rolled decently for rule of 3?
17 on rule of 3.
Okay, and then yeah, I think everyone else got low. So
I got a 13.
Yeah, 13 is still a bit low. But rule of 3s is Grot's son, so the son of a demon lord. So son of a demon lord making a deal with a archdevil. You know that he got something in return, a boon, a future boon from Levistus. Considering the lost nature of this item, and just what you've heard about rule of 3s, which is not a lot, you imagine that boon has not been
cashed in yet.
It has not been cashed in yet, and it could be because of the fact that the artifact is lost. There could be something in there where if it is not in Levistus's possession technically, he does not have to grant the boon. You know how devils and their contracts work. But yeah, as you all are kind of sitting at the table doing some thinking, you get a little bit more about this item that you are going to find.
Well, I'm ready to turn in for the day.
All right.
Zephyr, follow if you want. I found a giant place to sleep. Same with you, Artagan. There are boxes. We can come up between our sleeping spots.
I'm gonna go back to my pool and I'm gonna sleep in my little pool of water.
Great.
Happy as a clam.
Zephyr is not following Niall. No way is she gonna sleep near him. Nuh-uh. I'm gonna find another spot on the ship to sleep.
All right. Artagan, you said you're following. You're muted.
Yes.
Great.
It's gonna follow Niall.
Okay.
Because it's not sleeping in the same room as Zephyr. So
Yeah.
What's wrong with sharing a room with me?
So a real corn chicken fox problem.
Yep.
A lot.
All right. So, as you all turn in for the night, is there anything anyone's doing specifically before bed?
I will mention this as something before bed as well. Niall would probably let Artagan fall asleep first, and just out of curiosity, since he knows he's gonna get the spell slot back, he would try to turn Artagan into a spider again.
While he's sleeping?
Yes.
does the spell end if you go
fall
unconscious?
Oh, yeah.
I think, yeah, possibly.
I think it's the caster. I think target is. I think you'd still make the whiz save straight, but when the caster falls asleep. Max, this is like the whole thing we talked about with what's gonna go on with when Spark gets his auras, with him sleeping and potential Dendar interactions.
Yeah, let's see. It is, as long as it isn't knocked unconscious. So no, unconscious also doesn't work for polymorph.
Okay, so spell fizzles and he's like,
Yep,
good
he
enough.
tried it, but he does not turn into a spider. Stays a regular Artagan.
Yep,
He
goes
might
to sleep.
actually have a little bit of trouble like falling asleep and then ask Niall to like turn him into a spider or anything.
Yeah, turn him into a spider so then he can fall asleep.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and when you ask that, he's like, sorry, I don't have spell slots. I'll try to keep one on hand for tomorrow if you need it.
Doesn't matter.
You being exhausted's gonna impede us.
All right. Anything else anyone's doing?
Yeah, Zephyr's gonna go to Ripple's room to talk.
Oh boy.
Not to steal something. God.
Oh no.
Have a little faith.
Okay. Zephyr's gonna go to Ripple's room to murder her. All right.
One down.
You don't murder the muscle until the job's done.
Right. All right. Yeah. Go for it.
Okay, Ripple.
Oh,
I have
hey, Zephyr.
something to talk about.
Okay, what? What's up?
Okay, so this like magic item that we're looking for is like way powerful, and I definitely want to get it back to the boss man because, you know, very loyal to him. I understand that you're in the same boat. Both did so well, like we didn't even care about our contracts. But Niall, I don't know if his contract is actually with Levistus.
Not you gossiping.
It's like, really? Really?
Well, you saw how he like didn't freak out on the top floor, but he was interested in stopping on the 4th floor and like rummaging through those contracts.
I guess I really wasn't paying attention.
Ugh.
Not gonna lie, but I'll take your word for it.
All right. Well, I'm just worried he's going to try to run off with that magic item and not bring it back to Levistus. So we just should make sure that he's not the one holding it. It should be one of us.
Ooh. I totally agree.
All right.
I got lots of pockets I can hide it in.
Perfect. All right. Well, that was a great talk. I hope you get good sleep.
Yeah, it'll be good working with you, Zephyr.
I know. It's going to be so fun. All right. Oh my gosh. After this, we should totally get like dinner or sometime. That's not in a date way. Oh, I'm not going to join your deal. I mean, as friends.
Let's do that.
Oh my god. All right. Good night.
Friend. And then Ripple's just like excited, just kind of splashing happily, because like, friend.
Adding to the number of friends I have in Stygia.
1 to go.
1 to go.
2.
Yeah. 2, there you go. 2.
2 more left. 1 down.
All right. So, anything further before you all go to sleep? Oh. No. All right. Well then, with that, I'm going to need everyone but Niall join me in the bad place.
What? Wait, what?
Yep, come on in.
Hey, is this my first time coming to the bad place?
Yes.
I think it might be.
Go back to the dream and then Stu was evil. But obviously he can't be evil because he's not in the bad place this time. But still.
All right. So, as you all are taking your long rest on this submarine, you each hear a voice in your head, one you've not heard before, but absolutely know the source of. You hear it say, "Betrayer, thief." You see yourself being dragged under the pitch black waters of Stygia as ice begins to encase your legs. You feel your blood crawl to a halt in your veins as the ice begins to entomb you. A final breath before what feels like an eternity, trapped and aware. And now, you all get to stay here, and I'm gonna go hang out with Niall for a bit until we come find you.
Wait, Wait, what?
Yep.
What?
Also,
I
you can talk to each other, but don't
do
talk about this.
Okay.
I
Okay.
guess. All right. So
Have fun with your
I'm
I
back.
think they're still in the bad place.
They're still in the bad place because it's now you and I. Niall, you were taking a sleep, and you're used to Stygia being cold, but you didn't really expect it. It's been pretty pleasant on the ship so far, but you feel you kind of shiver and wake, and when you do, you see that the entire room you're in is coated in a thin layer of frost, and you can just barely see where Artagan's legs are poking out. They are encased in ice. What are you doing?
Get up. Check for check to thin layer of ice or block of ice are tagging.
Like, it's thick around his feet, and you can see as you're watching, it is creeping further and further up his body. It's probably at like his chest right now. But he is there's a thin layer of like frost on him. It's just the block of ice is slowly creeping up his body. And he, if you go you slap him. Nothing from that. You think you might need to get this ice off him.
I don't really have any good tools for this. Takes out the mundane dagger and the fancy looking dagger and just starts trying to chip away at the ice, trying his best not to cut with the fancy looking dagger into flesh.
Yeah. Give me a either sleight of hand or an athletics. Both of these are not really your forte, Bard.
Yep. Okay. Sleight of hand.
Mm-hmm.
24.
24. You start carving away, kind of chiseling away at the ice, and eventually you manage to get a crack down the ice, and it splits and starts to dissolve into the kind of the wooden floor. And as it does, you see a wisp of dark blue smoke goes away. And...
Can I Arcana check to see if I recognize what on this plane is happening?
You can absolutely do an Arcana check, and I will bring Morgan back.
Thank you, dice, for being kind to me.
You're back.
How's a 16
Artagan.
do as...
16. This is definitely, this is something related to a patron. This is, and you know someone who is entombed in ice. That is an archdevil.
Alright, Artagan, get up. We need to go find Ripple. Boss seems to be doing something with y'all, despite us being on the clock for him.
Fine. Sure.
Get up.
I'm up. I'm getting up. But where are they?
Ripple is in one of the water rooms. Zephyr's the... Let's go start with Ripple. She might know where Zephyr went. And just in case... How many of those does he have left? He'll try. He'll cast Sending Target. Zephyr is like, if your mind's awake, respond. You're being turned into a popsicle, and I still need you alive for now.
Yeah, you get no response back. Yeah,
Right.
Artagan, you look around and you see that there's a very thin layer of ice and frost across the entire room, and there's a puddle of slowly melting dark blue and white ice that there were chunks of it. It looked like Niall carved you out of an iceberg. Avatar style.
Also, just kind of a note, the moment Artagan's eyes started to open up, Niall would, like, slip the fancy dagger up his sleeve
Got it.
into the pocket he has up for. He's like, alright, let's head for Ripple's room, summons Alan, and instructs him to fly looking for rooms that seem to be iced up now.
Yeah. You, as you go out, you can quickly see down the hall. You see on the door to the right, you see, which you know is one of the slidey room. Because you slid it open before and saw Ripple. You know that is Ripple's. I will get the location from Tate as to where Zephyr is, but if she has somewhere specific. But you can start with Ripple's room, the two of you.
Let's get Ripple. It was a process to get you out, so it'll probably take both of us to get her out of if that whole pool is frozen. I might just let her die. Don't tell her that. Then
All right, yeah.
tries to open the door.
You have to really pull. I'm gonna need a strength check, or sorry, an athletics check. You might want to let Strong Boy do some of this.
Hey, Artagan! Tagan,
Yeah.
I'm helping.
It's 14 plus 1 is 15.
15. Between the two of you, you're able to kind of pull the door. You look in and see that this is going to prove challenging, as Ripple is sleeping in a pool that has now encased over. So just like their arms are out of the ice and the like their knees with how they were sleeping, whereas the rest of the pool of water is ice. The entire room again is kind of frosted over, and it is cold in here. So cold. You can see your breath as you're trying to figure out what's going on here.
Too many people in the city are probably in the polycule. I can't risk coming back to that. Alright, let's pick a spot and start chipping.
You can just move. You don't
No?
want to stay in the city if anything bad happens. You can just leave.
Do you want to explain to 15 people how Ripple died? Since I don't feel like explaining to 15 people.
No, you just leave.
Yeah, I have too many connections in the city.
All right,
Sounds like your problem.
what are y'all doing?
Are you gonna help, or are you just going to sass me?
He's pulling out his
Yeah.
best Zephyr.
Axes. I feel like
Oh.
axes are probably better than rapiers.
Mm-hmm. Just a little bit.
Little.
Just the mundane dagger this time. Hand on the back to be up, 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 up. Fuck. And I guess just starting with, like, the area around the water so they can just pull the body out and then just carve the body out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, give me both of you, I guess, if you're using your dagger again, whatever you rolled last time, and then an athletics check, Artagan, for hacking away at the ice with your...
16 for a sleight of hand.
Mm-hmm.
6.
Hey, at least it wasn't a nat 1. A nat 1 would have had you hacking away something else, you know? 16 sleight of hand.
Yep.
You see, maybe it's Artagan is still a little frozen. His movements are not quite great, but you are able to kind of carve around the ice. And similar to before, when you strike it enough, you see, this is your first time seeing Artagan, when Nile strikes the ice and breaks some of it, these wisps of kind of dark blue energy, maybe, you're unsure what it is, start to leave, and the more strikes you get in, the ice starts to melt. And with that, I'm going to pull
Both fly out of
from the
conversation.
conversation. Let's see.
Pulls down for like
And with
most-
that,
Wake
Sly,
up. Wake up.
you are pulled back from this dream, nightmare, whatever you call it. You see Artagan standing over you with an axe. You see Niall with a dagger. You look around. The entire room is covered in frost. The kind of thing you were sleeping in also iced over. You look and see chunks of ice still clinging to your body, as they had managed to pull you out of what was maybe an early icy grave.
I need you to focus. I need you to focus. Where is Zephyr?
I don't know. Somewhere, I think, like out in the halls. I think they're setting up like a hammock or something. What the heck just happened?
I'm going to ask you that pings without and has out and found anything. I will give you that perception
when you
check.
got that, yeah, give me the perception check again, as you now are looking not for doors, but for a kind of frozen icicle near a ceiling.
14.
14. It takes about 30 to 40 seconds, and you can tell you're starting to run out of time. It was halfway up Artagan, mostly covering Ripple's body. You see a hammock that was kind of in, like, catty corner to one, like, wall, or, like, a, whatever, diagonal across the wall. And you see through Alan's eyes, it is just nearly completely encased in ice.
Plugs out, looks at Ripple, grab something sharp. We need icicles, gotta pull them out, follow me.
Oh, what the heck happened? Just grab, I
I'll
don't know, a
explain
dagger
later.
and just start chipping away at the ice, I guess.
Yeah, just run. And
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're able to, you kind of can pull some of the ice. As you're running, Ripple, there's like chunks of ice that are kind of falling off of you. You are freezing cold.
Well, I'm a water genasi, so like where's all my water genasi traits? They're like
Where's
not
my
on
water
here.
shit?
It's not on here, but I'm
you
supposed
could.
to have.
That's
I
true.
have, like,
You could unfreeze ice.
yeah, and I'm just
I
wondering, does
think
that
you
use a
have
spell slot?
once
I
a
don't think it
day.
does.
It doesn't. I think
Yeah,
it's just,
cantrip,
like,
shape
once a
water.
day.
So I'm just gonna I'm gonna use my cantrip, shape water, to get the ice like into water and just kind of get it away from me, and then also undo Ripple.
Okay.
I'm Ripple, Zephyr.
Yeah, so let's say as you're running, you kind of come back in, you're like, oh yeah, I can control ice and water. And as you kind of, all three of you slide around the corner and you see this hammock of just ice. You see almost perfectly entombed, kind of like this, arms across, you see Zephyr in this ice, deep blue and white, and the, like, almost like someone threw a snowball. There's a splash of frost and ice along the back wall of this ship. You are able to do that shape water to get the ice not only off you, but also off Zephyr, and I will bring
Thank goodness.
them
Okay.
back. Zephyr, you wake
Yes.
with a hard smack on the ground as you...
I catch them. I catch them. I catch her.
Okay, you catch them. You awake as you get caught in Zephyr, or in Ripple's arms, as you look up and see your hammock has been kind of shredded by ice. You see across the back wall, wherever you had hung your hammock, there is frost and ice. And you see both Ripple and Artagan, clothes kind of shredded, covered in frost. Not so much as Ripple is now just a bit wet from using shape water to do some stuff. And you see that is what you see as you awake, and you are not sure what's going on.
All right.
Wait, Niall's there too?
Niall
Yeah.
and Artagan are there too.
Okay.
They
Okay. Explanation for all three of you, I guess. Though Artagan might have pieced it together. something was deep freezing all of you.
But not you.
I'm built different.
I'm built different. You're a tiefling. You're not special.
Well, clearly I didn't get frozen, but you did.
Yeah, don't sound so smug
Okay,
about it.
Can we
That's
get more
suspicious.
explanation? Like, what the heck happened?
I don't know. Levistus wanted to put the three of you on ice for some reason. Which
We're
seems
literally
weird.
doing a job for him?
Yes. Which, again, seems weird given that we're on the clock for him, but given what I witnessed, it would make the most sense.
Well, why not you? Why are you so special? You're not even the one who knows where it is. There is no common thread between the three of us that you don't share.
Yeah.
Let's go to your room if we're going to have a conversation like this.
Okay.
Alright. Which ice-filled room do you all want to go back to?
Well,
was
this is
like-
not even in a room.
I know.
Like, it's somewhere completely random. She's gonna
Well,
gather
both,
up all her stuff, though. Make sure nothing's missing.
Probably Niall and Artagan's room.
Yeah, that ice-filled room. Yeah, it's a little bit bigger than Ripple's
And
tub of
given
ice.
it's probably not as ice-filled as
Yeah.
Ripple or this hallway.
Yeah. So yeah, you all can go back. It's also a little bigger. So as you head there, Zephyr, you see now passing Ripple's room as the door was kind of thrown open as they left. Similar thing, completely encased in ice, even starting to come out of the door, like along the door frame. Not so much ice, but or like that's like a thin layer of ice, but looking in, you see the tub where Ripple was sleeping in water. Not a good place to sleep if it's going to suddenly flash freeze. Deep chunks of ice that are now slowly melting. And when you make it to where Artagan and Niall were sleeping, you see a similar frost-filled room. And it is still very, very cold, but it does appear to be slightly warming. Slightly warming the magic or whatever it was, perhaps broken.
All right, first, you're welcome.
For what?
Second, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
Second,
we didn't have to unfreeze Zeph.
I'm the only one that knows where this item is. You can't do anything without me.
we can hope the Baron you gave the captain was correct and go from there, but I didn't want to take that risk.
Actually, I'm the one that freed her, but yeah, sure, go on.
Yeah, thank you, Ripple. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
Yeah.
More explanation. Like, what?
I was awoken by Artagan freezing, broke the ice around him. The way the ice broke made me think it was linked to Levistus. The two of us quickly moved to you, Ripple, got you out. Then Alan found Zephyr. We moved to Zephyr, and you got her out. That's as far as I'm aware.
How did the ice breaking make you think of Levistus exactly?
How did it wake you up?
Well, the temperature of the room suddenly dropped 30 degrees.
I mean, that's fair, but like, the breaking of the ice, it make you think Levistus? Explain.
The fact that you all suddenly froze. And yeah, the blue wisps that were spotted. And I guess for your insinuations, Zephyr. Yes, my contract is with a different devil.
Yeah.
I am doing work for a reward of being higher on the ladder when I do eventually die. It is not with Levistus, but they still have trust in my loyalty. Because I know I'm coming back here when I die. I just want to be on a better starting foot when it happens. Why would I break that contract and risk being a blob on Avernus?
It's warmer.
Insight check.
Yeah, honestly, insight check.
You can roll me or tell me yours, Stu. If
Yep,
you
I'm
would
gonna
like.
text you the
Mhm.
total that I rolled.
No.
That is... Wait. Let me double check the math.
That's a.
Yeah, that's correct.
16.
I gave you the correct number.
Okay.
I got a 16.
I am the most insightful. I got a 7.
All right. I'd say with that, you both believe that Niall has not said anything that is not true. Complete truth from Niall.
Hmm.
So yes, I get given work, I do the work, and eventually my contract gets amended to come in as something higher. I think I'm supposed to show up as a bone devil when I die currently. So yes, I'm not directly working for the big boss, but you know, if Levistus is my boss's boss, he's still my boss. Does that satisfy you, Zephyr?
I guess.
And like I mentioned,
I'm slightly more concerned, honestly, with the idea that Levistus is trying to freeze us when we're supposed to be doing a job for him.
Yeah.
that was actually a thought I had too. If this was Levistus's contract, why couldn't we just get something from him to walk in and be like, we're on official business.
Yeah.
Let us read this. You put it back on the shelf. We go on our way after reading.
I mean,
that would have made more sense.
It
and would have
wouldn't
been
have
easier.
made sense. This
Well-
this item in the contract is to let a dimension form that can't be unbroken. He's trapped in the ice for a reason. Like Asmodeus is going to want Levistus going near any contract, period, let alone someone working for him. There's a reason we had to break in.
True,
I mean,
given the
yeah,
nature
sense.
of the
But-
power of the item, that would be a problem for Asmodeus.
So who would it have been if it wasn't Levistus? So how do? Because you just said assume it's Levistus because of how the ice broke. Like,
But
That's- I'm
we
stuck on that.
But could Asmodeus replicate the power?
everything we got in our like dream vision was very like telling us that it was Levistus talking to us and Levistus doing it to us in the dream too, right?
Yeah, you
Okay.
know the voice you heard was. You've never heard his voice, but it's
Yeah.
it's his voice
You know.
because you're linked to him.
okay, but like, did anyone else have the same dream?
Yeah.
Actually, that is important. What did you three see?
Oh yeah, I
Before
forgot that
you
Stu
woke
actually
up
has
in a
no clue
room
what
of
you all
ice.
heard.
Yeah.
Well, it was. There was a dream. The voice that like it was definitely Levistus. I'd never heard his voice before, but like that was Levistus. I just like the contract. You can just tell. And it was saying he called me a traitor and a thief, and I've not stolen anything. Not from Levistus, anyway.
Oh,
And-
okay, good. I thought that was personal. It's good to know it's shared, apparently.
But like, I haven't stolen anything. I'm not a traitor. I have zero problems working for Levistus. I'm perfectly happy with my arrangement. So, Is Levistus the one who actually gave us this job? I'm just starting to doubt. I feel like we should find a way to fully fact check before we, get murdered by our boss for something that is very much not our fault.
Maybe
Wow.
you forgot something. Happens.
I was about to say, we would all be aware of Asmodeus's title was like the Prince of Deception, right?
I don't think so. Because a lot of you, this is a lot of y'all's first time making a deal with an archdevil.
Baby's first devil.
Yeah, exactly. So I would say you know enough to know that Asmodeus is like head honcho, whatever, but not necessarily deception or anything more. You could roll if I would say you can roll because you've considered it. I don't think Ripple would care because Ripple's like totally on board. Artagan's less
And
on
illiterate.
board with and illiterate. Artagan's less on board with
7.
Him as a whole, but a 7, no.
Can I roll?
Yeah.
Can I roll just to see if one of my partners who
Is
in fact
Asmodeus.
powerful-
Did you pick up this knowledge from
What type of roll
Not that
is
they
it?
would be, but that they would just know
Uh,
or like have mentioned it.
Probably a
I rolled Arcana.
history or arcana. Yeah.
Same odd for me, so it
okay.
doesn't matter.
That's a nat 20.
It's just you're sleeping with Asmodeus.
The champion that you're dating is actually Asmodeus's kid.
Yeah.
And you've met his dad. You just don't know that's Asmodeus.
Wait, is it okay? Clear something up for me because I'm probably remembering wrong because it's been a while. Asmodeus in this circumstance and like, is he the good guy or the bad guy?
He's bad.
I think, yeah.
I
All of these guys are bad.
Okay.
Yeah, he is
If I
head
remember,
bad.
if I remember,
I mean, like, I know he's like
right,
a bad. He's an
Asmodeus is
archdevil,
by
but like
Levistus
for us.
is on ice.
I mean, even though you all are working for an archdevil, you don't necessarily want to also, like, all the archdevils kind of barely get along and occasionally do and occasionally just cause wars amongst each other. They're very fickle that way, so Asmodeus would also... You wouldn't, like, want to actively piss him off, but you don't work for him necessarily.
Okay.
Like, he's not
So,
your boss.
Are you
yeah.
making it canon that I'm dating his
No.
kid?
Oh
man,
I will
okay.
say I'll make it you've definitely had some of your partners that are constantly out doing things. They talk about politics and Asmodeus comes up as, head politic. So you've heard enough about that. I would say one thing you would know is it would be weird for him to interact, or it would be weird for him to do it this way when, like, to just freeze you all, when what he would probably do if he really wanted something from you would just be, like, appear and be like, either you do what I want or I just will murder you, because he is just so powerful.
Rolls out a piece of paper, sign or
Sign
die.
here. Yeah. So this is very much, and you also know this from Levistus. You have a contract with him. You're on his plane of existence. You passed him, like, earlier this afternoon in the harbor. If he wanted to just have you dead, it would be... I mean, this was close. You're not entirely sure if he was just trying to stop you. He didn't necessarily kill you outright. He just would have entombed you like him for all eternity. So, yeah. There's something's not adding up.
Hates, you were a little too close for comfort. When you were joking when we were in the bad place, saying, "Oh no, what if we wake up and it'll have been 2,000 years?"
Man, I really saved y'all from being Dr. Stone.
Oh, dang.
Okay.
All right.
So I guess I would just kind of relay that information then to those.
All
But
right. Good to know that it is probably the big boss who put out the deep freeze order. I'm gonna contact our handler to make sure that he thinks his where he got this job from is on the saying the up and up doesn't feel right, but it feels the most applicable. Anything
It's
else
like
you want me to ask
legit
if
and
I
from
have
Levistus.
the words for it? No? Okay. I'm assuming Long Rest was not completed.
No.
Alright, marking down another 3rd level spell slot. Asking send in on the guy we got the job from.
Fessin?
Yep, I still have forgotten the name. Niall would know the name.
Yep.
Hey, had a instance of Levistus trying to freeze us. Is the source on the level? Did you vet them? And he'll just let the remaining 7 words fizzle.
All right. Let's see who's gonna count for me.
I can do it.
Okay. Let's see. Niall. Good to hear you are fine. My source is confidential, but trusted. Perhaps the commotion you caused at the towers was not to the boss's liking. He does prefer...
Was that 30 or 20?
It's 25, so it probably would have cut off at
Yeah.
not to the boss's liking.
Not to the boss's like, perfect.
Yeah.
I'll take it,
Okay.
yeah.
Alright.
Oh,
Our
no.
handler trusts where he got the job from. He thinks you might have caused too much of a commotion. And either that's put a bad taste in the boss's mouth about us completing the job, or this was just a intimidate, don't do it again. You're too useful for me to outright kill this time. Since if he did just outright kill you 3, that would mean he'd have to wait a while before getting the pyramid, and I'm presuming he's planning to use it to get free, and that's probably a higher priority than commotion at the towers.
I mean, that could make sense. Personally, I still feel like there's something just really fishy about this, and I
Yeah.
just don't trust this
I mean,
whole
you are on a
situation at all.
Sahuagin- You're on a Sahuagin boat.
So Hooligan just walks by the
Yeah.
door.
I'm literally a water genasi. I have gills. I have shark teeth. I'm fishy.
Yeah, I mean,
there's
he
just
said
something not
that-
right with this whole situation.
He said that we were like traitors and betrayers, and even if we did cause a commotion, we didn't betray anything. We didn't act treacherously.
Yeah, I stole nothing. I
You're
betrayed no one.
Ripple is so adamant, like, I stole nothing. I am not a
I
thief.
didn't steal
this
anything.
one time, I didn't steal anything.
Joseph, hang on. Joseph,
Yeah.
get out of my room. Joseph.
Niall's not in sight, checking that she walked through the security door without it going off.
Yeah.
So he knows they didn't take anything
Mm-hmm.
from the tower.
Well, I didn't do anything to betray Levistus, so.
Neither did I.
I guess while we're talking on the level, Zephyr, the thing we talked about in the tower, was that from the same floor or the top floor?
That's none of your business. And I said what I said. I didn't betray Levistus.
Alright, so the one you left with doesn't have anything to do with him. Got it. Why would he target the other two if it was just you anyway? So, do we continue with the job since we're most of the way here? Or do we ask the captain to turn around and hope that when we're directly above Levistus, he doesn't just flash freeze the whole ship? Since if we complete the job,
I mean,
and
is
make
there
sure
any
it's
other way to like fact check just a bit more, or like make contact with like Levistus himself? I don't know.
I
That's
would
what Zephyr
rather
was
not.
thinking about.
Can I just call the boss? Can I call the president, please? I want to talk to the president.
That's something that Zephyr was thinking about. Can I make a roll about it to see if I can find a way to contact him?
Like, I just want to make sure we're not being tricked into betraying our contracts. Like, I don't trust anything about what's going on anymore, and because I'm not a traitor. I stole nothing. I betrayed nothing. I'm chill with my contract.
Let's see.
True.
What could be?
Well, if you, Narchagan had 1,000 yards there. I'll read in his, but both of them ended up back in.
Yeah, that had nothing to do with anything. Yeah, since I came to Stygia.
Maybe the simple act of reading our own contracts after they're put in the hold is seen as a betrayal by devils.
People can't read.
Yeah, I didn't read anything when I was there. I acquired all of like almost zero knowledge while I was there because I can't read.
Right.
So I didn't even steal knowledge.
I learned
I got nothing. I learned nothing. I stole nothing. I betrayed nothing.
I left with less information than I came in with.
Pretty much.
You go ahead and give me a insight check, Zephyr, about contacting Levistus.
Oh my god.
And I too I'm probably gonna get absolutely nothing,
15.
but
Wait,
Yeah.
I don't think I
try.
can use Flash of Genius with it, but I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see if I can. Yeah, just this is an ability check. Yeah, so I'm gonna add 4 to that to make it a 19.
Oh my gosh. I got another nat 20.
Oh my god!
Sly,
Yes!
save these rolls for Nefira.
I know.
Save these rolls for your
Hey, these are the
wife.
highest rolls I've rolled all night.
That's true.
The highest roll I've
20s.
gotten before
Can't
this
get any higher.
was a 13. Okay? It went from 13 to 2 nat 20s.
Yeah, Zephyr, you're not sure. With that even with the 19.
Yeah, so you said it was insight?
Yeah.
So that's a +3, so it'd actually be 23.
Okay. But it's a nat 20.
Yeah.
So with a 23, you think that there's a possibility, that you're not warlocks, which doesn't give you as direct a contact with a entity that supports you as warlocks do, which makes it a little harder, but also might have been what saved your life, because it also doesn't give them as direct a line to you. You could try to kind of reach out in your sleep again, but even still, it's an archdevil, and whether or not they, hear the kind of drop of water in an ocean of you trying to reach out to them, you think you could try, but the likelihood would be extremely slim that it would work, and even if it does work, you're not sure what it would do to you physically to reach out to an archdevil directly. You might already end up encased in, you might round 2, but a bit faster and worse this time. So.
Yeah, but I don't like this situation.
I'm in
Is that Sly or is that Ripple?
Yes.
Both.
Alright. There are 4 of us. Let's see if we're an even split. I'm of the opinion we retrieve the item, we make sure we are there with delivery. If it is not delivered directly to Levistus or someone who can prove beyond any of our doubt that they are taking it directly to Levistus, we fight and move to try to directly hand it off ourselves. If we bring it to Levistus, whatever misunderstanding there might be, if he does think the 3 of you are traitors, will hopefully be smoothed out. Table talk, Zephyr's the only one aware that Levistus has to pony up something, presumably when he gets the item.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And once the item's handed off, we get paid. The 3 of you don't have to worry about getting flash frozen in your places of residence.
Yeah.
And I hope we move up the run to... I don't even know what I become next. Problem for future me. And I simply just go back to being sent to the prime material plane to kill people who are trying to worm their way out of their contracts. Pretend you didn't hear that.
Right. Okay, I guess for now, but like, I'm still worried.
Sahuagin
I
and
still
Zephyr.
really don't like the situation, and
Where do
there's
you two
gotta
lie?
be a way to figure this out.
Yeah, I'm for retrieving the item
Mm-hmm.
and making sure it gets to exactly where it needs to go.
Yes. I'm not
Yeah.
handing it off to the person who gave us the job. I don't trust them anymore.
Yeah. I guess we
Yeah.
should, Niall, can you reach out to the handler again and find out where we're supposed to like drop this off?
Alright. Cass, sending...
Mm-hmm.
Talking amongst ourselves, we want to be part of handoff.
Wait, no, don't say that you want to be part of the handoff yet. We'll wait till we have that first.
Unfortunately, it's already been sent.
Well, no, just table talk before you send it.
Max, are you
It's
okay
just
with
like-
that?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Right.
We
Figure
can-
out what
It-
you want
Yeah,
to
because
say.
I said just ask where we were supposed to
Yeah.
like hand it off and hand it off, like who we're supposed to hand it off to once we have it, and then like once we have it, then we can be like, hey, actually, we're gonna hold on to this.
Yeah, were we not? Why were we not given these instructions when?
I presume
Yeah.
it was
I mean, it
handed
was.
off
You're supposed
back
to
to
give
the
it back to
handler.
him. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is what he said. Go get the item.
Oh, okay.
He's the handler. Normally, that's how things would work
Okay.
with stuff. So, do
Yeah.
you still want to send the message, or do you want to wait until you get the item and then send that kind of change up of plans and save a spell slot?
Well, do you guys want
I feel like we
this to be
should
a
wait.
discussion today or until we have leverage?
Let's have leverage and try to like not let them know that we already have it. Like once we have it, you know, say like, oh hey, we're about to like grab it or whatever. We're not there quite yet, as it's in our pocket. Like where are we handing it off once we get it, you know? But like we already have it, so then we can go like the opposite direction.
That doesn't sound like ensuring it gets handed off. That sounds like absconding with the item, which would absolutely be a betrayal.
Well, we would be
And the theft.
absconding with the item straight to Levistus.
In the middle of the harbor,
I mean, no.
1 mile down.
We know where Levistus is. We
Yeah,
passed right over
exactly.
him.
Exactly. We know where he is. So once we get the item, we can just take it straight to him instead of like.
I
Yeah.
turn one of you into a shark or something and hope the water doesn't wipe
I mean,
your
I'm a water
mind.
genasi, so I can just swim.
True. We'll just have to hope the density of the sticks down there isn't at
Oh yeah.
wipe
It's
your
the sticks.
mind immediately.
You would imagine
Yeah.
it probably would be around an archdevil in order to keep him from
So we can just
Just-
like
wandering.
ask the ship to take a detour there before dropping us off at the harbor. Oh well, let's work on getting the item and trying to figure this out before we get the item, and then get the item, and then we can deal with the rest of this. I'm all for like trying to figure out as much as we can before we get the item, and then get the item, and then worry about the rest of it.
Yeah, following steps are get the item. Either way, getting it's probably our best bet. Whether we become the delivery men ourselves or follow it along to ensure that
Yeah.
the wheels turn without issue.
Because I don't want Lewis's to be thinking I'm a traitor or a thief when I'm not. So,
I don't think the contract has terms for demotions. I'd rather not find out.
Alright. And with that, as you all had a eventful first night on the submarine, that is where we will end tonight, as you all something's going on, something's a little fishy in these waters.
Yes,
that was
true.
crazy.